Hello, good evening, good evening. Welcome to my channel. I'm your host, Cindy Holden, and you have arrived, maybe stumbled across, scrolling and stopped because you saw the title. You have arrived to my channel called The Pieces of Me, a Woman of Worth. Here at the channel, we share a word, a thought, a phrase, a paragraph, something, right, that can be uplifting, perhaps inspirational or motivating in a way that will cause you to go within yourself, right? To go within so that you don't go without. Yeah, it's kind of a pun on word intended, right? And so in the world that we live in today, it's so much going on outside of us, right? Outside of me, outside of you, whether it's work or the day-to-day responsibilities, caring for loved ones, just all things that, vie for our attention, so to speak. And so here at The Pieces of Me, a Woman of Worth, the target audience is for women. However, anyone who stops on by this safe space, and it is safe, I believe that you can hear something or take away something for yourself that can help you in your journey we call life. And so the past several weeks, we were talking about what it meant to value yourself and different aspects of what that could look like. And then we concluded on last week on how to value yourself. I've gotten some positive feedback from the videos, and so I was happy to hear that it was helpful to many of you. And so my mission and goal is to continue to talk about, to have a conversation and include others that will talk about all of the pieces, if you will, the parts of ourselves that sometimes, I'll say it this way from an I perspective, that I have overlooked or avoided or neglected or attempted to kind of push to the side, those parts of myself perhaps that encompass some times that weren't so good, maybe there was some shame or some guilt or whatever it was. And so the mission and goal again of this channel is to help every woman, to help every person, right, to know that every little piece of them, every part of you matters. And so we're exploring the pieces of ourselves, and I'm encouraging you, inviting you to do that as I continue to do the same. And so some of this has been my own personal journey and going within myself, looking within myself at those different parts. And I've learned, and I'm yet learning, to value myself in a way that today I know I am a woman of worth. And so tonight, I just want to spend a little time talking about something that I came across, I think maybe about 3 or 4 days ago. And it sparked a piece of me, right? A part of me that is ongoing, and I continue to find ways to, let's just say, to develop and to nurture and foster within myself. And so it is, I believe it's like a quote from, what is it, Coco Chanel? Yeah, I saw it was like on a picture. And so it said, beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. I'm gonna say that again. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. And so as I thought about that, I was like, oh man, that's what's up. That's good, right? So it was like a reminder to me. Like I said, I stumbled across it. It's been around for a minute, but I stumbled across it. And again, in this journey, I call life, you call life, we call life, living, it is important to me, right, to be the best me that I can be. You know, the trendy phrase is, I want to be the best version of myself that I could be. And that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. I like to say it's been a good place to start. And it kind of says that this process is ongoing. And so you'll hear me say that a lot. As long as I have breath, right, and life on the inside, I am open to learn, grow, unlearn, relearn, discover this whole process in my life. And I'm telling you, the more I do it, the freer I get, and I can lay hold of myself. And I can freely acknowledge that every part of me matters, right? I can pay attention to those parts of myself. A lot of time it's like, here I go with that transparency. I can be my own worst critic. Now, I'm sure some of y'all can relate to that. It's like I can give everybody else some real good advice. I can be loving, caring, and compassionate. And then sometimes I'm like, I'm hard on myself, right? I'm beating myself up. And so in the work that I do and helping people to help themselves, I frequently say this: don't beat yourself up. Because if you beat you up, you're just giving everybody else permission to do the same thing too. Besides that, you need you. And so again, being my own worst critic, sometimes that part of myself is really trying to be helpful. You might say, helpful how? Yeah, that's a good question. And so I'll say it this way. Quite often I learned, right, to like second guess myself, or again, doubt myself. That's that part of me that wants to get it right. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Maybe not everybody, but some of you can relate to that. It's like, I want to get it right. You know, I don't want to be wrong. And so that part of me becomes really harsh and critical. You know, it's trying to really kind of beat me into getting it right. And so the process of unlearning that behavior, taking that action against myself, has been to value myself, right? And know that, hey, you know what? I don't have to get it all right. Hey, it's not always about right or wrong. At the same time, learning how to listen to me, to pay attention, right? To have kindness and compassion for myself. And so that's the beautiful thing. In this process of becoming, right, the comparison, no, you did not lose internet connection. The video continues. I just gave some space for you to consider that. You know, I'll say it again from this perspective. I have compared myself to people, to places, to situations, right? And in doing so, I looked at myself in ways that I'm not this and I'm not that, and so forth and so on. And in doing that, right, it devalued myself for one. Again, being transparent, and I'm hoping that it will be helpful to you. But in that process, I learned, and I'm still learning, how to see the beauty within me. If there's something that I see, whether it's external, right, a feature, something again on the outside of me, if it's something that I see and I want to change, right, then do something about it. Old school say, don't just talk about it, be about it. And so even with that, learning to look at the parts of myself, not just the outward appearance, but to go in, as I said, and see the beauty within myself. Every piece of me matters. I make a difference, you know. I give myself permission to show up. Now today I can do that and be my full self. because there's beauty in every part of me. And so the moment that I decided, and guess what? It wasn't just a one-time thing. I continue to make that decision. I do it on purpose to show up as my authentic self. Why? Because I value myself. Not only do I like me, I love me and I value me today. So going back to that phrase, right? Beauty begins the moment you decide to be your authentic self. Going back to that, I think about, I like to laugh, right? I can be really silly sometimes. I get on this roll and I'll be saying stuff it's like, girl, you so silly. And before, there was a time where I would hide that part of myself. Believe it or not, I can be a little shy and quiet because usually I'm laid back and I'm checking things out. I'm observing my environment, kind of feeling out the room, if you will. And once I warm up, oh my goodness, I'm on a roll. But again, I learned how to squash that, for a lot of different reasons. And so today, as I continue to grow and nurture every part of me, I can laugh, I can joke, I can have fun and show up in that way. Because I used to be told, girl, you so serious, smile, it can't be that bad. Well, at that time, it felt bad to me, they would say, put a smile on your face. And I'm thinking, I am smiling. I really wasn't. What people would see quite frequently, depending on what setting I was in, they would see let's just say, a lot of the pain and hurt that I was experiencing on the inside. And I wasn't good all of my life at hiding what I felt. Sometimes, I was more intentional. I'm gonna let you see how I feel. And then other times I wore a mask, right? I could hide it. So the point is, and I want to encourage you, your inner beauty, right? Your beauty, period. But let's talk about on the inside, because that's the essence of who you really are. Developing that inner beauty, I like to call it soul care, right? Your who you are in your emotions, right? Your intellect, and even in your will, the things that you will to do, right? That makes a difference in being able to take care of yourself in that way. What do you mean when you say take care of yourself? Pay attention to what you're thinking and what you're feeling, right? And how you respond to your thoughts and your feelings. It makes a difference. There's beauty in every part of you. And so coming to the place of being aware that I'm beautiful. It's not the color of my eyes or the shape of my hips. That's not where my beauty lies. My beauty and my virtue lie on the inside. Oh, girl, you better go ahead. I'm doing some poetry tonight, y'all. Yes. And so, again, beauty is skin deep. You ever heard that before? So I want to encourage each and every one of you, right? Stop hanging outside of yourself. Get on the inside. Get on the inside and discover the real you, right? Even in the midst of things that we call them flaws, right? I have a friend, she said, girl, I'm flawsome. And so it's the ability to look at those parts of yourself, to embrace whether there's been hurt, pain, rejection, resentment, unforgiveness, to be able to do your own work, to mind your business, right? I'm saying that in a loving, caring way, but to go in and discover the beauty that is within. Because the moment that you decide to be you, why? Because everybody else is taken. The moment you decide to be you, that's when the true you, your true self, will appear, and you can embrace your true self, you can show up as your true self and continue to nurture and love every part of you, even to the point where you trust yourself again. That's a beautiful thing. I want to share this last thing. In a women's group that I'm a part of, we had an exercise. We've been kind of remixing how to value yourself. And so I challenged them with this exercise. I said, hey, in between our time outside of this safe space, I want you to do something. Look in the mirror, right? Get it in your birthday suit. Strip down to your birthday suit. Be naked and unashamed. And when you look in the mirror, what do you see? And so we reconvened after a couple of weeks, and most had completed that exercise. And as they began to share their experience, right, of looking at themselves in the mirror, people saw different things. They had different experiences. And so some of, I would say, the thing that came more naturally, most of them, the first thing that they saw, that they paid attention to, was their outer appearance, something that was on the outside, right? There were some, who looked deeper, right? They looked past the externals and they went into themselves, right? They looked at the internal, their inner self. And so it's really, really important that we learn, right, to value ourselves, not only value ourselves, right, but discover my inner beauty. You discover your inner beauty, right? Do some soul care, do some soul searching, right? Go within yourself, take a look at what it's like for you to be you emotionally, mentally, and perhaps that spiritual dimension of yourself. Go within and examine your own inner beauty. I believe that who you've been looking for, what you've been looking for, perhaps, you will discover it's there waiting for you. And you've been there all along. So this is my time for tonight. Listen, every part of you matters. I'll say it this way, whether it's been right, wrong, weak, or strong, just keep going within yourself, learning to nurture you, value you, support you, have a healthy, good, happy relationship with every part of you. So I'm going to offer up a prayer. Dear God, we thank you for this time that you've allowed us to come together on tonight. I thank you for each and every person that is here, that stopped by the pieces of me. I am a woman of worth, and I pray that you will touch their hearts, their minds, that you will open up their eyes, give them understanding, that they too may know that every part of them matters, that you care about them, and they too can be a woman, a man, a boy, or a girl of worth, because every little part, every little piece of them, it matters. This is our time together for this evening. I hope this has been helpful in some way. Take some time and reflect, right? Sit with yourself. Go within yourself. Ask yourself some questions. Be curious. Who am I? What do I like? Do I trust myself? I think I'm stirring something up. What is it about me that really matters and that can make a difference while I'm here in the earth? That can be a good place to start. Just be curious, ask questions, sit with you, and allow your beauty to arise. All right, I look forward to seeing you here next Wednesday, right here on The Pieces of Me. I am that woman of worth, Cindy Holden. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.